Some breaking news now, big breaking news coming in on the diplomatic front, where it seems that Russian President Vladimir Putin has invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi for another round of talks on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit, is what we are learning. Remember, they had that meeting in Russia where Prime Minister Modi took the message of peace amid the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And now what we are learning is that Vladimir Putin has invited Prime Minister Modi once again for dialogue on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit. That is the big piece of news that's coming in, where the dialogue continues to expand between India and the Russian Federation amid the Russia-Ukraine war. Remember, a lot of issues were discussed between India and Russia when Prime Minister Modi visited Moscow to have that bilateral dialogue with President Vladimir Putin. And now President Putin has invited Prime Minister Modi one more time for discussions on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit. I'm joined by my colleague Siddhant on the broadcast to get more details. Siddhant, over to you. What is the agenda of this meeting? Prime Minister Modi has made it very clear that dialogue and diplomacy is the only way to achieve peace amid the Ukraine conflict.
Well, look, first of all, this visit of NSA Doval is not only related to BRICS security officers meeting, but it has much more beyond that. In fact, NSA has multiple bilateral meetings. He today met President Putin. And in fact, in that meeting, President Putin has proposed a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Modi. Look, ahead of this meeting of NSA Doval to Petersburg, if we go by what President Putin said at a public event, that he's in touch with partners and allies like India, China, and Brazil, as far as peace talks are concerned. So right now, scenario is that President Putin is trusting more on BRICS member countries as far as peace talks is concerned. Point number one. Point number two, Prime Minister Modi is expected to go to Russia again, to Kazan, for the BRICS Leaders Summit in October. And perhaps the proposal that President Putin has made to hold bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Modi is on the margins of BRICS Leaders Summit. Point number three, India has offered to negotiate to continue the peace talks. Prime Minister Modi is perhaps one of the few world leaders who understand this issue very, very well. He has done his own groundwork by visiting Europe twice in less than 60 days. So he has understood the issue very well, and he's ready to contribute. So we could expect some sort of an BRICS members' involvement in the peace talks. We could also expect, when President Putin and Prime Minister Modi will meet in October on the margins of BRICS Leaders Summit. We could again look at a possible big development as far as peace talks is concerned. And India has always maintained this position that there cannot be any peace talk.
Right, Siddhant, I'm sorry to interrupt. Now the BRICS Summit will take place between October 22nd and the 24th in Kazan. And we're getting a reaction from National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, who also met Vladimir Putin. Let's listen in.
Prime Minister told you during a telephone talk that he was keen to brief you about his visit to Ukraine and his meeting with President Zelensky. And he wanted me to come specially and personally and brief you about the talks. The talk was in a very close format. It was only the two leaders. He had his two persons with him. I happened to be with the Prime Minister. So I was a witness to me, sir. I attended that conversation.
So that was NSA Doval, who was taking Prime Minister Modi's message of peace when he met Vladimir Putin in Moscow, ladies and gentlemen. But the BRICS Summit will take place in Kazan between the 22nd of October till the 24th of October. Also, what we are learning is that Chinese President Xi Jinping will also be attending that meeting. So Siddhant continues to be with us on the broadcast. Siddhant, so the Chinese heavyweight Xi Jinping will also be at the BRICS Summit in Kazan next month. At the same time, Prime Minister Modi also pushing the message of peace for dialogue and diplomacy amid the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So a lot of developments could emerge next month from the BRICS Summit in Kazan.